Here's how I draw a simple anatomy, and drawing anatomy can be really difficult. So let me show you how I draw each body part. So I did a video where for a week I was practicing anatomy, and there's a lot of things that I learned, that's why I'm sharing it today with you. So first, let's start with drawing head. I always put a basic bow, and then I attach a jaw, then a symmetry line in the middle of the face. I also put an eye line in the middle of the head, then a little bit above the eye line, I'll put a line for eyebrows. And with that I can divide the face into thirds. So between the eyebrow line and the chin, I'll put a line, and then I'll take a length from the chin to the nose and I'll put it on top of the eyebrow line, which will give us a forehead. In this video we'll skip the head and go to the rest of the body. So let's go to the torso, and for torso I put a simple gesture line, and then I'll add another horizontal line that will be for our shoulders, and then I'll draw an X shape on top of the gesture, and I'll add some details like sternum, thoracic arc, collarbone, neck, and trapezius. Also a ribcage is a little bit tilted. Then I'll do a simple shoulders, and then I'll go to the pecs. So the bottom of the pecs sits a little bit above the thoracic arc, and to be more precise we can take the length from the chin to the forehead and put it from the collarbone to down, and we'll get the bottom of the pecs. But also to properly locate the collarbone, we can take the length from the bottom of the nose to the top of the forehead and place it basically on the chin or the connection of our neck and put it straight down. And in torso we can also show a little bit of lats, and also to correctly place the transition between shoulders and pecs, we can put a simple line that goes around our neck, and you can put a simple rhombus shape on for the shoulders. Now breast sits from the middle of the chest to the little bit below the pecs, and also remember that gravity affects them. While drawing things on the chest, we need to remember that the chest is not flat, it's curved a little bit, so the things will be a little bit curved. Now for hips I'll add another horizontal line on the same gesture line that sits torso. Also a pro tip to make your poses more dynamic, we can use a contrappasto. So basically we want to have different angles between shoulders and hips. Basically we want them to go in different directions. So then I'll add a simple oval for the hips, but you can also use a shape that is basically a rectangle with a triangle in the bottom. But after that I'll add a simple triangle without the top for the pubic area. Then I like adding those two bumps that shows the hip bone. Also I really struggled with putting the sides of the hips, and I didn't know where to locate, they always looked weird. And a simple fix to that is to place the widest part of the hips on the same level as the pubic bone. And I also like adding belly button and legs to the hips. Now for legs, I always draw them with gestures. It's really important to get the flow right while drawing legs, so they won't be stiff. And for that we can use a simple CSI. Now the thigh bone, which is a femur, goes a little bit in at an angle, and the lower leg bone, tibia, goes straight down. Now upper and lower leg have the same length, and it's about 2 heads. So I start with drawing thighs, and then I'll go to the calves. And one simple tip is to make one side straight and one side a little bit curved, so have a little bit of variety, and also add taper to the shapes. And for legs I actually love making this shape. I also love adding some hints of anatomy, so we can add a simple sartorius muscle. Also a thigh can fit a whole head from the front view, and from side view it can fit a whole head from the side view, and the bottom leg can only fit a half of that. Now let's go to the arms, which are also all about gestures and flow. So I always start with a simple gesture for the whole arm, and now for bent arms I use 2 curves, one for upper and one for lower arm. Also upper and lower arms have the same length, so basically the length between shoulders and the middle of arm to the knuckles is the same. Now the correct placement of the elbow is at around bottom of the rib cage or the waist level. Now the wrist sits at around the level of the pubic bone, and also same rule applies here, where you want to basically make one side straight of the shape and one curved, and basically have flow of that. So whenever one curve goes in, other goes out, and don't place them side by side because it will make a snowman. And I usually draw arms as cylinders, and then I'll add some details on top. Obviously on top of the arm there's a shoulder, there's a deltoid muscle, which you can, as I previously said, you can use a simple rhombus shape. Now on the upper arm we have a biceps and triceps and a deltoid. But a really useful muscle to know is in the lower arm, and it is brachioradialis, and it's basically attached from the middle of the arm to the thumb, and it rotates our hand. Now for lower arm I love using this silhouette where I place a simple cylinder, and on the sides I'll add a simple triangles. Obviously keep them offset a little bit so they're not symmetrical. Now hands I'll always start with a rectangle, and then I'll add a simple triangle for the thumb, and you can divide the hand into thirds from the top to bottom and into halves from the left to right. Now the triangle for thumb sits from the bottom to the 2/3, and also palm has the same length as the middle finger. Now knuckles are not straight, they're curved a little bit, with the middle finger is the highest. Now for fingers you can use a simple cylinders with the tips a little bit pointed on one side, and also you can divide fingers into thirds. And there's actually one tip that will help you with drawing fingers. It is a basic curve that goes on top of the knuckles, and you can take the same curve and place it on top of the fingers, and it will basically give you the length of each finger. But in perspective it works a little bit different. Now for abs I use a simple rectangle with the bottom a little bit rounded. Now for female abs I like to put a little bit of indentation on the sides. And abs start from the chest about a thoracic arch and go to the pelvis at the bottom. And also width of the abs is around the same as the width of the face. And for belly button I use a simple diamond shape. It's super useful for showing the direction the belly button is facing. And you can also think of abs as a pillow, so basically from a side view it looks like a M letter. But also here we have obliques that goes from the hips to the rib cage. And for female characters we can also use a little bit of indentation, and to make silhouette a little bit more hourglass shape. Obviously with drawing less defined abs, less is more. When we want to draw a little bit more defined, we can draw each ab, but abs aren't perfect rectangles and they're not perfectly symmetrical. Now to summarize everything, it's basically best to simplify every body part into simple shapes and then build complex anatomy details on top. Also knowing proportions is super game changing, and you don't have to guess where each body part sits. And you can also watch this video where I draw a basic female body. And if you enjoyed this video you can like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye.